So I got a treat for you guys today. It's a house I made a long time ago, based off of a floor plan that I got from Google Images. I made it, nice and clean and stuff like that, as modern as I could do with literally the early 2000s to 1990s decor that is L4D2. But I always enjoy doing something else with my creations, and that's like dirtying them up and making them more like how I would want it to look like in a zombie apocalypse if it were like my house, like a setup or something like that, or like maybe just how I'd think an apocalyptic area would look like, and a lot of detail, kind of more detail than what the Source engine and Left 4 Dead maps in general have. But I just made this, and I really enjoyed making it, and hope you enjoy seeing the little showcase I got. So right here, what I'm doing is taking common household items you'd find in this house and using it to like barricade the entry points, windows, and doors. Also, I'm working on a little bit of clutter on the ground as well. But yeah, I'm using just whatever comes to mind, and also just at the same time working on other parts of the house, like the kitchen, just to try to build, some realism in it by occupying the spaces with things you'd find in the house. So yeah, this is like a quick little barricade situation that was putting. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about this. Just kind of populating the area. And some clutter. My mission for the look of this house, it's obviously a nicer house, but I wanted it to be well used, scavenged, and I wanted to give the look of someone, living in here and stuff like that. Living in here, not cleanly, but I don't think you have a choice in a zombie apocalypse. And I wanted to also kind of make points of egress, or like defensive points in the house. Like they barricaded the house, but also put parts of it in the house that they could fall back to or whatever. I started adding a little bit of like items in the house that you wouldn't really find. Maybe my thought was that they brought in items that they felt like they would need in there, from either like the garage or other parts. Maybe they scavenged and brought back some useful items. And here I was just searching for not anything particular, but just searching for stuff to put in. And once I find it, I find a part of the house where that object would make the most sense. I wanted it to look like they were still using, the kitchen for food, because you got to eat and stuff. I felt like maybe to try to keep the infestation of bugs down, they'd throw a little fly zapper in there. And I had a bunch of barbed wire out there just because that felt like a weak point as far as fortifications go. I messed around with thinking about doing luggage in there, but I decided against it. So I added a couple things off camera, some sheets on the doorways, try to do like privacy and stuff, and maybe even like, well, mostly just privacy. I wanted to add a lot more like ammo and guns and stuff, because that's a very important aspect of survival in a zombie apocalypse. So I wanted to add like a lot of guns and ammo around the house, because that's what I would have. I don't think I was looking for anything in particular right here. I was thinking like water would be another thing. Like you'd want to store some water in your house, a lot of it. So kind of wanted to tackle that. My mission here was to kind of keep some rooms to their original purpose before like the zombie apocalypse. So this was like a gun room that this house already had. So I wanted to kind of make it like that. Like a workbench, and so since it was a gun room, I wanted to keep, they would keep some guns and shit in there already. And it's one thing to note, this is all for like cinematic purposes, me messing around with it. And so all these items that would normally be like playable objects in the game, like ammo pickups and guns, I did them all dynamic overrides, so they don't glow and you can't pick them up or interact with them, but they're just there for the looks of it. And I really do enjoy that. It's one of my sticklers in Left 4 Dead is all the HUD that you get. I really don't like that. So sorry, this commentary is kind of trash, but I'm watching this sped up really fast, so I gotta kind of try to keep up with it as far as what I'm seeing and what my thought process is on it. A lot of real life stuff. You could place a gun anywhere, and it's not just gonna be flat on the ground and whatnot. So there's a lot of guns that I put laying up against the wall, because that's how like a lot of guns sit, and they're not just in typical areas like. So I just wanted to do a lot of places where guns aren't just sitting completely flat and stuff like this. It's like propped up, kind of laying in an awkward spot. But I feel like that just adds a lot more character, to addition to the guns that are just nicely leaned up against the walls. And various guns and stuff. I wanted to add various guns to mix it up. Gun in each room is a good rule. That didn't make sense, so I didn't put it in the tub, but it makes sense to have a full auto Mac next to the tub for safety purposes. They're making good use of the TV inset TV holder, whatever you'd call it. They're also making use of the baby crib. I thought that was kind of funny to put guns in there, so that's what I did. Maybe that is a testament to state of mind. Probably cut all this out. Or maybe I won't cut it out. I don't know. I like adding what's called dummy. They're called commentary dummies, and it's what Left 4 Dead uses for like when you hit a commentary button to show. They were using it to showcase stuff. I like using those because it adds like characters and dynamic, actual animated characters, but they're like you can't interact with them and stuff. So I really like that because it adds like people in your map, which you really can't do in Left 4 Dead really. I added Bill here. It's kind of sad, but I wanted to make it not sad, so he's not dead. He's just super drunk in the tub sleeping with his M16. I thought that was kind of funny. You know, and I really wanted to like hammer it home that he's not dead and he's just sleeping. So I thought that was kind of funny. Just adding a bunch of beer cans and whatnot. And then I'm just kind of looking around for stuff to do. You know, any empty spaces I wanted to fill up with something. So here, I like to gravitate more towards the Left 4 Dead 1 characters. I don't know if it's just because that's more OG and I grew up with it more than Left 4 Dead 2 or what. I just like the characters better, so I try to deal with them a lot more than the Left 4 Dead 2 characters. I just don't like them very much. So here I wanted to add them standing around. The whole idea to this house was that the Left 4 Dead 1 characters were like staying in it for an extended period of time. Like this was like their main camp type deal. So I wanted to add their little, you know, what I wanted to make it look like they're actually living in it. And so like them tagging the walls and with little stuff. I didn't want to go overboard with it because like who in that group would be like tagging, actually like making artwork? I don't think anybody looks like that type of person to do that, but I wanted to do a little bit just to add some flavor to the walls. This was a little bit of creativeness with pre-existing decals. Deadshot. I thought that was funny. Added combined two different decals to make something. Danger at the bathroom, kind of like a poop joke, I guess. I don't know. Just looking around for decals. I added blood here because there's like a little surgical table, like they're digging out something, and it's on the counter there. You'll see it. I had blood on the wall. I had a little mat there. That was supposed to be like Zoe sleeping on the sleeping bag. I eventually got it to work, but I don't remember if I got it on camera, but it was acting weird for whatever reason. I had some maps and stuff around, like some like if they were like planning on going places or like places they'd already been. I wanted to add some like resemblance of, I don't know, I try to tell the story as much as I can through the environment, and that's like one of the goals here.